What up, guys? It's your boy Big Rizzle and the Pizzle and the place to bizzle, and we're playing Final Fantasy XII. It's the HD remaster for the PlayStation 4. Actually, I don't think it's a remaster because they never specified if it was or was not. It was just a port of the Zodiac Age, which was the international version, exclusively to Japan and PAL regions, which is very, very slighting for the Japanese people. Not really surprising though, because you know, Japanese people are Japanese people. Hey, I'm not racist. I'm just pointing out historical facts. Anyway, this is an HD port, I guess you want to say. I'm going to start calling it that, of Final Fantasy XII. There was a US release that had nothing to do with this one, because this one is really different. There's an actual job system where once you stick to a certain license board, you got to travel all the way through. I was informed that halfway through the game, you have an option to have a secondary class, which is a secondary license board. But until then, we're just discovering it on the way. I have never beaten this game. I've gotten pretty far, but I've never beaten it. And as of right now, we're about to go ham after these 2-hour cutscenes end. So yeah, I'm actually doing 30-minute episodes, maybe even 45 if the time constraints are really pushing. As of right now, this is gonna be a 45-minute episode because honest to God, like these cutscenes take forever and a half. So for the most part, I'm gonna be silent and allow me to just shut my mouth now. Yeah.
In the name of the Father, and in the presence of these holy relics, I hereby pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity. Farewell.
Nabudis has fallen.
Impossible! My father?
I know not. I am sorry.
If Nabudis has indeed fallen, it is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
Secure Nalbina with all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
Altea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy. my father. For my father! Lord Rasler!
Honestly, these cutscenes are oh my god. I mean, they're probably action packed, but good god.
Blessings of the Great Father descend, and guide your bodies return to the earth. Great Father, guide your spirits return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace. Pharaoh.
The death of Lord Rasla Heos Nabradia was but one of many tragedies to befall the Kingdom of Dalmasca. The air of hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, two great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice. Arcadia in the east, Rosaria the west. The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march. With Lord Rasla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca. The fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces. A counterattack was mounted by the order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender. Lord Romanos, King of Dalmasca, and my dear friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon.
A lot of this is just...
For a terrible revelation awaited them. The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
You there? Can you hear me? It's as I feared.
All right. Now we're back. All right, cool beans. Good God Almighty.
He fights to defend his homeland.
Let's just see where we're at.
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Your name's Rex. Okay.
Rex, you bore a few cuts.
You are still whole. Listen, after all those cutscenes, I'm just itching for some gameplay. Can we please, just come on. Let's just get some game going.
Think you can fight?
Yes.
I'm fine.
I believe I can, sir.
How old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
Young. Family?
My brother is.
What's up
older
with the
than you,
21
sir.
questions, bro? Let's go.
He's 2 years younger than I, living in Rabanastre.
So young.
Hmm.
Old enough to be a man.
Yeah,
You shouldn't
pretty
be
young
forced
though.
to wield a sword.
No, sir. I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they act, or all our efforts will be in vain.
I'm aware of the situation.
We found them over there.
Oh, you just happen to find us now. Like, this is so awesome. Okay, let's get the fight going. Wait, is he gonna just fight them on his own? Oh my god. Please, let's go, sir. Let's go. I will say one thing. These cutscenes are, good god. They're really upscaled in HD.
Steady, Rex.
I mean, you still see PS2 kind of graphics, but it's really good. All right, I already know most of the controls. Left, right, up, down. Then I walk towards him. Yeah, these tutorial phases are pretty annoying. I'm gonna talk to the guy over there to the right. Let's go talk to him. See what he got to say. He ain't got nothing to say, bro. I'll go through the gate. Alright. Cut through the gate. Oh man, these cutscenes were something else. They took all the time. Oh, why am I talking to him again? Just go forward, lean forward. Iron Gang. Alright. So, while we're doing all this, I always kind of want to discuss the difference between the US release and the international Zodiac one that came out a while ago, back in like 2007 or something like that. What happened was, in the original game, you were given an open license board. You could go anywhere you want on the license board, get any abilities you want, just pay the license points. In this game, the license board has been revamped. You're stuck dedicated to a certain class type, and that class type has certain licenses on their board. Halfway through the game, like I said before, you can just get a second license board. There's Red Mage, Time Mage, a Samurai, Warrior, etc, etc, etc. Time for an awesome boss fight, by the way. And it's really drawed me. I want to give a special shout out to my brother-in-law. He let me borrow his copy of the game, because I'm not paying
Captain?
for the same game twice. I mean, I did it for Kingdom Hearts, but that's a whole different ball game. You get like a bunch of games in one, but whatever. Anyway, here's we're gonna fight the Tonberry now. The name of that ship is the Tonberry. Just a little quick Easter egg reference to other Final Fantasy games. And we're fighting. Let's go. Alright, gonna move forward. This is one thing I like about this game as well. It's kind of like, hold on, let me change something real quick. Config, active. Okay. One thing I like about this Final Fantasy game is you get to move actively throughout the, like, you know, you're not stuck in one position. This is like Final Fantasy 11, sort of, the online in the game. One of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time, by the way. Like, my top 5 is always going to be, number 1's going to be 10. It's like the legit first Final Fantasy I ever played. It's 10, 4, 11, 12, and 7. 7's the last on my list because, I mean, yeah, it was the first of its kind, but yeah, not that cool. Thunder. Let's get him shocked up. Ooh, Thunder did one hit, bro. What? Yeah. Listen closely, the name is Tonberry. Graphics look really good, though. Yep, and the quickenings. Oh, the quickenings were awesome. But a lot of you are probably wondering, why is 7 at the bottom of your list? I'm like, yeah, it was revolutionary for the time, but around the time, I wasn't conscious, I wasn't awake, I was a child. I was like, what, 97? 93? I was 4 years old. Like, what am I going to do? Play Final Fantasy 7? No. Be running around outside, picking my nose, scratching my butt, being a kid. I didn't play 7 until the late 2000s. I want to say 2005, 2004, around there. Early to mid 2000s, yeah. I played Final Fantasy X. I played Kingdom Hearts first, and I saw Titus in the game. I'm like, who's Titus? Titus, whatever. And I beat Kingdom Hearts after painstakingly 2 long years of navigating through Monstro and getting lost in that damn thing. But I hated Monstro with a passion. Good God. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah. So I played Final Fantasy X after I beat Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1, the first one. And honestly, actually, you know what? I played Final Fantasy X midway through my Kingdom Hearts run through because I got stuck in Monstro and I have ADHD, so I said, let's get another game. I'll never forget. We're going to Walmart. It's like 9 o'clock at night. It's a school night. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but my dad's like, hey, let's go to Walmart. We go to Walmart, and my dad, let me tell you how baller my dad was, how cool he was. My mom handled all the food, the clothes, and stuff like that, and my dad paid the bills and got the expenses, like the stuff on the side, like TVs, TV, games, things like that, paid for field trips for our school, things of that nature. So it's kind of split down the middle. My mom handled the in-house stuff, and my dad handled the outside stuff, outhouse stuff. So we're on our way to Walmart, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'll never forget. I'm like in the 3rd grade, 4th grade, whatever, and we pull up at Walmart, and my dad, he worked a lot, so me and him didn't really get super close till I was about a teenager. And it was like a natural progression kind of thing. I got real close to him, it just happened. It's my dad. Before 9 years old, you're like, who's this guy in the house? Like, he feeds me. Cool. After 9, you're like, I want to learn about this guy's life. Who is this person taking care of me, feeding me? And anyway, we pull up to Walmart. It's 9 o'clock at night. Potion. Cool. It's Walmart, 9 o'clock at night. We pull up. This is in Tampa, Florida, by the way. Who are we fighting? Yeah. 9 o'clock at night, Walmart, and we're heading through. Where's the other guard at? We're heading through past the gaming department. Because I don't know if anybody remembers, but the games used to be in the center of the store. Like, you're walking down the aisle, straight down the middle of the store, and the games would be in its own separate compartment in the middle of the store. And in the back wall, where a lot of the electronic departments are now, was like clothing and stuff like that. But now, the save point. Now it's different. It's in the back wall, and then like everything's in the middle, all crap's in the middle. Anyway, God, I gotta stop getting distracted. Anyway, my dad goes into the gaming department, and he's looking at Spider-Man on VHS, because I remember VHSs used to be $5 back in the day. They used to be $5 for VHS. Don't care when the movie came out, it was $5. I'll never forget that. My dad's like, hey, you want to get Spider-Man? I'm like, no. I've seen Tobey Maguire. I've seen his little meme faces enough growing up. Let's try something else. So my dad is he's going through the movies, and he's like, hey, there's a Dragon Ball Z one. I'm like, really? Let's check it out. So I'll never forget. It's Lord Slug, the Dragon Ball Z movie, Lord Slug, and I'm looking at it. And my dad, he's off walking around somewhere, and I hear him call my name, Jose. Now you know my name, guys. It happens. Joselito, and I turn around and I see my dad. He's on the PlayStation 2 game case, like behind the glass, the glass sliding walls, door, whatever, doors, the glass doors separating the customer from the games. And he's like, Joselito. I'm like, what's up? I come running, and he's like, yo, you like Dragon Ball Z, right? I'm like, yeah. Kind of question is that? It's the early 2000s, and I'm a kid. I'm a boy. Of course I love Dragon Ball Z. He goes, there's this Budokai. Budokai. I'm like, yeah, it's Budokai that people are talking about. It's like the most craziest thing on earth. Like, it's like what He-Man was for you, but it is for me. Like, if He-Man had a video game, that's what that would be. Like, a good video game. So my dad's like, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he buys it for me. And then we're walking like out of the gaming department, and he sees a Final Fantasy X, like a display stand. He's like, oh, don't you like, isn't that guy from Kingdom Hearts? This is the guy from Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, yeah, that's Titus. Well, what's up? He goes, do you want this one too? Now, in my mind, how my family is, for me to get a video game out the gate was like a blessing. And then my dad comes out of nowhere. You want this one too? I was like, heck yeah. So, lo and behold, he buys Final Fantasy X. Now, at this point, I'm freaking out. This is like Santa came to town, and like Santa can kiss my butt. My dad is the coolest guy in the world. Anyway, I go home, and I pop in Final Fantasy X, and that opening theme plays to Xanderkin, the piano, everything, and I fall in love. Final Fantasy X. The reason why Final Fantasy X is my favorite, other than the fact that it's a very linear, very story-driven game, is that my dad liked Final Fan. Like, me and my dad never had nothing in common before that. Yeah, we talked about Power Rangers and we talked about Spider-Man, but like it wasn't something in common because he grew up with that, and I'm just watching it for the first time in movie theaters going crazy. He actually sometimes, like, he worked a lot. He worked night shift. He'd sleep all day. When I'd be home from school, he'd be sleeping still, and then around 6 or 7, he'd get up and go to work. But when I got Final Fantasy X, and honestly, like, I can imagine, like, me how I am now with my adult brain. Nigga, I bought these $400, $300, whatever, console, and I'm buying these $60 games, bro. I want to see what they're about. I spent this money. Let's see. So a couple hours before he'd go to work, he'd get dressed, whatever, and maybe like the last 30 to 40 minutes before he had to leave, after I was done with my homework, and that was a painstaking task. I'll tell you that right now. We're always fighting. He would sit with me for about half an hour, watch me play Final Fantasy X, ask questions. Like, the dude was engaged. But after a while, you know, he just wanted to see what it was about. He said, okay, this game doesn't have any naked girls or guns or violence, so whatever, keep it moving. Little did he know Lulu was in that game. That's a story for another time. He sat with me and I played the game for a little bit. And he would leave. And he would come back the next day and ask, hey, what did you do so far in the game? Did Tidus ever go back home to Xanarkand? And like, things like that made me realize that he was paying attention. Like, he's trying. And I'm like 9 years old, so I just talk like, yeah, Tidus is going to Besaid Island and Makalani or whatever. He's trying to go back to Xanarkand because it's in, whatever, you know how the story is. And he was genuinely interested. But halfway through, he asked the question, what happened to the Kingdom Hearts? You never beat it. I'm like, oh, God. So therein lies another story. Just, I got back into Monstro, like, oriented myself and got a grasp of footing of where I was at, and I found my way through that game and beat Kingdom Hearts, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, but back to the main reason why Final Fantasy X is my number one is because it was the first thing me and my dad ever bonded over. Usually it's cars or movies or guns or like you know, just like, you know, just stress in life, and you talk to your dad and you bond. It was Final Fantasy X. I'll never forget it. There was another act, and you know what? Final Fantasy X is also another one of my favorites, is because when I was living in the apartment I had the game, when we had the game, it was like early 2000s. In the apartment I lived in, the unit right next to mine, my neighbor, his name was Dennis, and he played Final Fantasy X from beginning to end, and he beat it. Like, and he was like, he loved the game. So one day I'm talking to my friend about Final Fantasy X, and he's walking past our apartment, whatever, to get to his, and he heard me. He goes, you play Final Fantasy X? And but mind you, I'm like 9 years old and he's like 17. So I'm like, we have nothing in common. Like, this is weird. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I love that game. Do you still have it? I'm like, yeah, I still have it. Bring your PS2 over and play it for a little bit. I'll help you. So I used to bring my PS2 over his house, plug it into the living room on like no pedo type shit. He was cool. He never did nothing weird. But I used to plug the PS2 in his living room TV. He'd sit on the couch, like way back in the room, and I'd sit on the floor right in front of the TV, and he would just tell me what to do. He's like, yo, use magic, whatever, use this element against this element, etc., 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 and you should be fine. And I was like, all right, but like, he showed me how to play the game, and he got me pretty far, and then like, he moved away, so like, I just had to beat the game on my own. And lo and behold, I never really beat that game either. I wasn't stuck in the Calm Lands, but I got past the Calm Lands and got to Mount Gagazet, and I did my thing there. I beat Seymour Flux, all the final Seymours, whatever, and I went back to the I always found myself going back to the Calm Lands, just level grinding and leveling up there. And I spent like a good 2 months just in the Calm Lands, just chilling. Then I beat 10. Finally got to the last game, the last boss, and etc., etc., etc. Not to spoil nothing, but anyway, that's why I like Final Fantasy X. I bonded with a lot of cool people playing that game. But 12 is the one 7 and 12 are the ones I never really beat. And I never watched the ending for 12 either. I should have, but I never did, because I knew one day I'd come back to it. 7, everybody knows the ending. I got to the very last. Final Fantasy 7 is on my last because that final boss, not regular Sephiroth with his shirt off in the center of the planet, Sephiroth, safer Sephiroth, like Supernova Sephiroth, pain in my butt, bro. Couldn't stand it. Could not stand it. I'd beat the first Sephiroth, the first form where he's like this giant monster, and you're fighting him from 3 different platforms, one on the left, and one on the right, and directly in front of him, where the three sets of different party members are fighting him. But I beat that one, no problem. It's just that safer Sephiroth where he's an angel. Oh God, I couldn't stand that crap. I had Mighty Guard, but mind you, I was like I said, I was like, maybe I was like 11 now, 11 or 10. And my mind couldn't really wrap around materia, so I didn't understand it. So I just had, I didn't even have Knights of the Round. I was just getting super beefed up materia and thinking to do damage. Nope. Fire 3, Flare 3, Neo, Bahuma. I thought like all the big ballers, I was like, yeah, I can just kill them with these guys. Nope, every time I died. Every time. It was that dang Supernova that killed me every time. Never beat Final Fantasy 7. I know the ending, like who doesn't know the ending to 7? Everybody does. But that's why it's on the bottom of my list. It just caused so much rage and frustration, I just didn't even try it. And then the materia thing confused me as a kid, so I just gave up. So yeah. The last good Final Fantasy I ever played was 10. 10 was the last good one. I like 12, I just never beat it. 10 was my favorite one. To this day, I love 10. I would buy the HD remaster, but for what? I have the original. It's less cringy. But enough of me rambling. Let's see what I got to do on this little
You should
this
come,
little
Vaughn.
thing.
He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do,
Kites and
too.
Vaughn, they're playing in the basement, whatever.
Work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
Of course he will. Well, guys, I'm about to end the gameplay after this cutscene and get to a save point. Part 2 is gonna be up probably tomorrow. I'm really trying to play through this game all the way through without taking breaks. I did it with Shadow of the Colossus, and I'm about to do it with this one because I never beat it. And it's gonna be a drive for me to do it. As soon as this cutscene passes. This game is cutscene heavy though.
What'd you say? Sir, you haven't paid, and I... What? Haven't paid? Second thought. Please, sir, take it. It's a gift.
Jerk.
Leave the poor sod be. We don't want trouble today.
Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Pickpocket. He's like, Vaughn fits the perfect Disney troubled youth archetype. Like, he's a good person, but with like Aladdin tendencies. He's like the perfect mix between Aladdin and like, I think Jake Flynn, whatever, from Treasure Planet. Perfect mix. Got the Aladdin hair but blonde, and got the cool armor and like outfit like the guy from Treasure Planet. God, these graphics, they look exactly the same from PS2, just clear. There's nothing HD about it. I've always wondered if Penelo like finds that outfit uncomfortable, because it looks really, really uncomfortable.
You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Penelo. You know it as well as I do.
Oh my god.
Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
Oh my god.
I thought that this money was the people.
I kind of feel like Balthier and Fran fit the Han Solo Chewbacca archetype, and Vaughn fits Luke Skywalker because he's somehow related to royalty.
Wasn't that what you said?
Ash, Princess Leia.
Yeah, but I never said anything
Bosch,
about
Obi-Wan
taking it back from
Kenobi.
me.
Like, I don't know.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this?
I'm about to be a sky pirate. Just like Luke Skywalker wants to leave Tatooine and be a rebel fighter.
One of these days, I'll fly an airship of my own.
She texted me.
I'll be a sky pirate, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguelo had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
Bro, let's find a save point. Yeah. Come on. Let's find a save point. Let's get out of here, boy. No? Oh my gosh. Move. Juke move, boy. Juke move. Oh, no. What up, Miguelo?
Vaughn, I was waiting.
Penelo said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be.
It's kind of sketchy that this guy has like a shop in the back of a town, and he's just hiring a bunch of orphans to do stuff. I mean, it's admirable because he's keeping them off the streets by giving them errands to do and giving them food and stuff like that. But it's low-key kind of sketch. This guy's always surrounded with orphans. But I mean, it's not. It's kind of complicated.
Sending you to early grave, my boy. No, I've arranged for some replacement goods from Tomage over at the Sandsea.
So you want me to go to the tavern to pick him up?
Actually, I asked Kites to do that. Wouldn't you know he's gone missing on me, too. I
I can't leave my shop, and I've Pinello on another chore at the moment, you see. What I want you to do is run over to the Sand Sea and fetch Kite's bat. What do you say?
Sounds wild.
Yeah.
It's easy work, and you'll thank me for it someday.
All right. I guess so. What a kind of like an arrogant thing to say. It's easy work. You'll thank me for it. I'll get out of here. Like, dang. So in the next episode, we're going to find Kites at the Sand Sea and see what Tomage is up to, whoever the hell that is, because they don't give you no exposition out the gate. Wow, these graphics look a little updated. I appreciate the update. But until then, it's been your boy Big Red. I'm out. Yeah.